is the first to my computer science lesson, in which I'll show you Unity and Python. And today, this video is dedicated on Python, installing Python, using the terminal, just beginner stuff. So, on our agenda, I will introduce myself. I will define and install Python, and show you how to do that. Show you to understand the terminal, and how to write with Python. So, about me. That is a very interesting picture of me that I am semi-proud of, but I shouldn't really announce that too much. In terms of my computer science life, which I absolutely love, that image there is a logo to one of my games, Baxter's Doghouse, which I built a couple of months ago, which is on an itch.io webpage of mine. I am an author. I've written one novel that I'm currently trying to get published, and I just included a quote here with Michener, who's a really big author that I love. I think he's fantastic. And then my music life. I play guitar. I upload guitar covers to this channel, and I am a really big fan of Greta Van Fleet. Now, Python. Python is a programming language special for its readability. It is really big and used all over the world. And if you don't know Python as a programmer, then that is insane. I mean, it is very popular and very easy to use if you know what you're doing. Games can be made on it, and data structures. It's very popular. Now, why we study Python is simply because it's awesome. No, there's other reasons, but it's definitely one of the easier languages to understand before you get into more complex languages like JavaScript, and downloading Python. So I've included a link here, which would take me to the Python website. And in this website, it has tons of information about Python, how to download, documentation, which I'll show later on, community. This is a fantastic website, and all it is python.org. It's super easy to access. Now here we're under downloads, and I already have Python installed, so I won't do it again. But by clicking this button, it'll download the latest version of Python on your Mac computer. And if you don't have Mac, if you have anything else, you can install it for Windows or Linux, or I think those are the three that'll take Python. So yes, and there's a whole process that goes with downloading Python, and it's pretty self-explanatory once you hit this yellow button. So once you get Python installed, I will jump right back here. Okay, so we already have Python. Now, using the terminal. So in my lessons, I will be using Python in hand with the terminal, which is also known as a shell. And it's a hardware device that allows us to input data into the computer and essentially allows us to navigate around the computer much faster and in a cooler way. And I have here why I use the terminal. It allows for easier access and impresses your friends. It really does. And there are several different terminals. So right here to the far left, that is the basic terminal that comes from your Mac computer. And to the far right, I don't really know much about Windows, but I'm assuming that this is the terminal for Windows. And in the middle is Git Bash. I don't have it. I don't know if you install it or if that's what comes with Windows, but that's also a terminal, and that works just as fine. And I've included here a list of short commands that I really recommend you write down. Just save it somewhere, because this would definitely be your survival guide for navigating around the terminal. And I'll explain a few commands as I use it. So the first thing we'll jump into is the print statement. The print statement allows you to input a string, which is word with quotes, or variables, which I'll explain later on. And it's one of the easiest functions to write in Python. Here I've drafted an example of the print statement in the terminal, and I will show you how to write this right now. So if I jump in my terminal, and it's a clean slate, all you essentially have to do, if you have your terminal open, you're in the home directory. If I were to jump to my home directory, I would have to input these words, Python 3. And mind you, you have to install Python for this to work. And once you do that, you access Python. You are writing Python. You're no longer really in the terminal navigating around files and folders. You are using Python. So how I know this works is if I do the classic print hello world, I get hello world. Python is here. Python is helping me out. So the print statement is, as you saw, very simple. Just print with the parentheses, and we can input anything. I love pizza, because I do. And we close that off with parentheses, and we just press enter, and we have I love pizza. And this may seem very beginner, because it is, but this print statement is used all over in Python. Even very advanced developers still use the print statement to get input back in their terminal. So there's not much more I need to say on this print statement, but I will show you variables, which are essentially little things we can assign other little things to. It was a terrible definition, but I'll show you what I mean. If I have a variable called friend, and I set that to my best friend is Alan. If I set that to Alan, I don't get anything put back at me, but Python stores friend as a variable, and that's equal to Alan. Now if I go print friend, I'll get Alan back. And essentially, variables work hand in hand with print statements, and we'll get more into variables and why they're useful later on in these courses, but essentially variables are what we can set things to. The last thing I'll show you is a print statement including Alan and a string, which is, like I said, quotes. So if I were to write print and I were to say my best friend is, I could put Alan, I could put that, but it would spit back, I'll show you right now, it would spit back my best friend is Alan. That's lowercase, that's not what we want. What we can do that's cooler, and that, like I said, impresses friends, is if we do print my best friend is, and I do these curly braces, which are to the far right of the keyboard. I don't know how else to help you navigate that. And we type in our variable friend. We go friend, close brackets, my best friend is, and I know it reads friend, but if we were to press enter, oh, I totally messed that up. Sorry. What did I do wrong? Oh, of course. Yep, that's what it was. Okay, so if I were to do